Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to another More with Morrow's video. Today's video, we're going to be tackling two separate things. We are going to be tackling the DIY benches for Brittany's table here, and we're also going to be putting in the new chandelier for the light that is above the table. I went ahead the other day and went to Lowe's and picked up everything that I needed for this bench. I think I also went to Home Depot to get the 4x4s because apparently Lowe's doesn't carry untreated 4x4s. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna get everything set up. I went ahead and pulled all the cars out of the driveway. This garage space kind of doubles as like my workshop slash garage. So with all that being said, I'm gonna get everything set up right now, and then we're going to start laying out everything, and I'm going to insert a drawing or rendering of what I'm trying to accomplish. Like I said, it doesn't seem too hard, but you never know. Like I said that with a lot of things, like, oh, this ain't that bad, and it was actually that bad. Alright, so now that everything is set up, what I'm going to go ahead and do is get my rendering out and go ahead and start marking up this 4x4 to how high I want the bench to sit, and then go from there about cutting some of those 1x1 pieces that I have that's going to go for the insert that's going to hold everything together. So now that we have all four legs cut the same, I think it said for, like in the drawing, for them to be like 7 inches apart, and I think that's counting from the outside. Alright guys, so what I went ahead and done was cut a test piece to see how everything was going to fit in. And by doing that, I learned a few things. I learned that it's going to have to be just a little bit smaller because these aren't real true 2x4s. I think I've mentioned that when I was building the table, that everything now is not true dimensional, so I had to just cut it down just a little bit smaller, and it's going to fit because I measured all of the 2x4s that I have together, and it's a little over 14.25. The next step in this process is that after I got all these 4x4s cut the same length, it said to have the 4x4 space 7 inches apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1x and I'm going to cut it to fit. So I want to go ahead and put these the two legs together. That way I have a good idea of if they're going to be extremely level or not. That way I'm not wasting any more boards. So I'm going to go ahead and get out my Craig jig. I've set it up for the 1x. That way you can fit a 2-inch screw in. So you want to put it in the middle of the 4x4, and I will show you guys that in just a second. So I essentially have 2 pocket holes drilled into this 1x, and it's simply going to connect the 2 right here. but I have to figure out the distance for the 2x4 here before I lay anything in. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then I'm going to drill this in. We got both sets of the legs finished. Now we are going to move to the inside inserts of the legs that we're going to connect all 4 posts together. And then once that is finished, we're going to finish up with our 2x4s. We're going to cut them to kind of fit everything. So we're almost there. We're almost kind of finished with this project. It kind of took me a little bit longer than expected because the space in between the 4x4s is not big enough for my drill, so the last one I kind of had to hand tighten. I'll leave in that footage, but now that you kind of will see the problem that I ran into, I'm going to keep that in this video. So I'm going to finish up the supports. I don't think I've been this happy throughout this whole project. Like, the inside pieces were a pain. I busted part of the 1x at the bottom, and now I am to this part right here. We have the base completely finished. It's nice and square. Now you will notice my little boo-boo there. So I did mess up, and I used my impact gun a little too much, and I busted off the bottom part of that pilot hole, so I had to do one from the top, but it's all not going to be seen, so it's okay. I do have to now do the inserts for the 2x4s. I'm going to do the 2 middle ones first, and then I'm going to work on the 2 outsides. So I just finished up putting together the, ooh, this thing is nasty. So I just finished putting together the bench, and I absolutely love it. It is a very simple design, but once I put the stain on it, I really think that it's gonna pop out. So let me turn this camera around real quick and let you guys see it. What I'm going to go ahead and start doing now is the staining process, which will take no time at all because this is not as big as the table. So once we get this whole thing stained, it's done, and I will give you guys a little time lapse of putting on all the stain, and then we will do the final reveal at the end with the dining room table. So it's finally done.
I know.
What do you think about it?
I love it so much.
Are you sure?
I do. No, I do.
So the problem that I think I've kind of ran into is I didn't quite make it as long as I wanted to, but it still works. But I'm going to show you, turn the camera around and show you guys the finished product. So one of the awesome features that I really like about this DIY bench is that when you push it into the table, underneath the table, it is completely covered. Like, you do not see the bench at all, and it kind of opens up our dining room just a little bit more. Now we do have the 3 chairs on the opposite side, but it kind of makes everything look a whole lot cleaner and the lines are a whole lot better. So I'm going to show you guys the final product with the light that I installed and the bench along with the table as well. Scarlett. So that is going to be it for today's DIY bench project. If you guys really enjoyed this video, please give it a like and also comment down below what you think my next DIY project should be. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of More with Marlows. We hope to see you on our next video.